I have a question for Mr. Matsubara. One of the series that you worked on somewhat recently was Gankutsuo. And it has a very interesting art style. It's very distinctive from many other series. There's nothing else that really looks quite like that show. And I was wondering how much of that was due to Matsubara and his character designs, or how much of that was from the director, and if he was responsible for some of that or collaborated closely with the director on that appearance, that visual style. What were some of the influences for that that caused them to go in that direction?
ですね、基本的にはラフな感じで、前田真宏監督が、まず、書いて、書かないときは彼の書いた絵コンテから雰囲気をつかんで僕が書いて、一応キャラクターの方向性としては、原案的には前田真宏なわけですね。それを、作業用のアニメーションのキャラクターとして、成立させるのは、僕の仕事でしたね。まずそこまで。
Well, it started with Mr. Hiro Maedama's rough sketches, and when he didn't have rough sketches to work off of, I sort of got the atmosphere of how the art should be and what the characters should be like from his storyboard. But basically, it was Mr. Hiro Maedama, the director, who created the base for the characters, and my job was to animate the characters and make them possible for animation.
前田さんもこう、忙しかったのでこんな感じっていう口だけで伝えられたりしたこともありました。
But the director was very busy, so there were some times when he would just tell me, make it like so and so verbally.
衣装なんかは勝手に描いてましたが簡単でしたので。
And as for what they were wearing, I just drew those on my own. They were pretty simple to draw.
コンセプト的にはですね、なんていうんだろう。服にテクスチャー模様を入れてちょっとなんていうんですかね、変わった感じっていうか出すっていうコンセプトが最初からありましたので、複雑なデザインはせずにアウトラインだけで表現できるような僕らの作業としてですね、アニメーターの作業としてアウトラインだけで表現できるように、デザインしました。
As for the concept behind the clothes, the original concept was to put texture and patterns into the clothes and don't do any overly complicated designs, and instead create a sort of design that can be expressed with just the outline of their clothes.
見た瞬間、服が複雑でちょっと模様がね、分かりづらいかったりするので、顔なんかを特にそれぞれが似てしまわないように個性的に描くように、心がけました。
And the patterns in the clothes made it very difficult to watch, to look at it initially. So something that I kept in mind was to try to make their faces look very different, so that it's easier to tell them apart at a glance.
あとアニメーターの、作業が速やかにスピーディーに行えるように、複雑な処理とかを、しなくてもいいように早く描ける絵っていうのも心がけましたね。
And I also tried to make the art such that the animators could draw it very quickly, so that they didn't have to go through any complicated processes to create the art.
特に 画面的にはメカニックであったり服の模様であったり、背景美術の感じなどとにかくチャレンジでしたね、最初から。他のアニメではやってないことばかりやってないことが多かったので。
So from the mechanics on the screen to the pattern on the clothes to the design of the background, it was a challenge from beginning to end, and I got to do a lot of different things that I never would do on another show.
第1話が出来上がるまでは本当に自分たちでもどんなフィルムが生まれるのかわからなかったです。
Until episode 1 was completed, we, the creators, had no idea how it would turn out in the end.
できてみたらちょっと目がチカチカする上がりでした。
When we looked at it for the first time, it was tiring on the eyes.
Wait. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I've already asked one. You can.
This is a question about Mr. Shigeru. I know that I read that you did storyboards on Chodenji Robo Compatible V.
Could you repeat that?
Chodenji Robo Compatible V. Directed by Mr. Nagahama. And basically, I know he's a very well-known, and his works are very popular and famous in other countries, but not in America. So we don't get very much information on him. So I was wondering if you tell of your personal experiences with Mr. Nagahama, and if anyone else has had experience working with him. And I would also feel free to also talk about it.
Could you repeat the name of the...
Nagahama Tadao.
No, I mean Chodenji Robo.
Combatora V.
Combatora. I have very unfortunate news for you. I don't think you'll have any opportunities to meet him in the future.
This is why I'm asking.
Passed away 25 years ago.
Yeah, this is why I'm asking people.
なので、長浜さんと仕事をしたことがあるなら、それについて話してください。
なるほど。長浜さんってもともと人形の芝居の演出をやってた方で、絵とアニメーションとこの絵っていうのは全く畑違いの人だったんですね。ただお芝居というものにものすごく情熱を持ってまして、そのカット1カット1カットの表情だとかセリフの喋り方とか的とかというのをものすごく気遣ってました。その割に絵は全くもう作画監督任せ。その辺が非常に面白いというか特徴のある人でした。
Well, Mr. Nagahama, he started by creating stories for puppet shows, which is completely different from animation. But he was a man who was very passionate about creating the story. He would take each individual cut and look at all the details from the expression of the characters' faces to how they spoke their lines. But then he would, at the same time, leave it completely up to the graphic director some things. So he was a very unique man in that way.